So explaining the autism diagnosis to friends and family was hard, and it's still hard. And it's not hard because we're ashamed of it or we struggle with it. I think that my husband and I would both say that there was two very different generational approaches. There was the young generation, that was our age, because we were only 20 when we had him, that didn't know anything about autism, and all they knew about autism was what was shown in movies, which anybody in the autism community will tell you that usually is really far from the truth. So we had a whole community of people that were our age that thought it was like a terminal illness. I'm so sorry, like you'll get through it, it's all gonna be okay, which they mean well, they really do. I know that they mean well. And it's what we needed at that time, because at our age, that's how we felt too. It felt like a sentence, a life sentence of something that was never going to ease up. And then we had an older generation of people who come from schools where kids that were different weren't in classrooms. They weren't usually at the schools. Their parents, even in some situations, would hide them away. It was usually called schizophrenia or something else. And the first experience that pretty much both of our entire families heard about was when our son was diagnosed. It was hard because there was a lot of people that were like, well, he doesn't seem like he has autism. He doesn't look like he has autism. Like, they mix it up with other diagnoses that have physical differences. They don't know anything about it. And I think that the important thing to realize when you're talking to people that you love about this is that they don't know your child. They never will know your child like they know it. So if you're saying when they're 6 months old, I think something might be just a little bit different, and then you have 25 people telling you, oh my goodness, he's only 6 months old, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. Trust your gut, because more often than not, you're right. These people don't see your child every day. So in reality, like, you can't expect them to understand what you're seeing. I think it's really important that you create boundaries with people, because there was some people when our son was first diagnosed that said some things that were really out of line, and it really just comes down to societal stigmas, autism stigmas, and autism not having a big enough presence in media because people don't know about it. So there was the young community that didn't know anything about it, so it scared them, and it scared us. It was terrifying. We didn't know what it was. And then the older community that didn't believe in it, thought he was going to grow out of it. He's a late talker, he's a boy, he's just hyper, he's this. They were so quick to make excuses for his behavior. The fact of the matter is when you took our 18-month-old son, put him in a room with another 18-month-old child, it was wildly different experiences. So it's just important to be mindful that no one's probably going to understand exactly why you're having these concerns, why this diagnosis has come about. The best thing that you can do is just spew facts. And I think that the best thing that I ever did for my family was say that if you don't have anything positive to say, don't say anything at all. And if you have a question, word it as a question, not a comment, because there was a lot of comments that were out of line, like our son used to hit his head on the ground when he got really overwhelmed. So one of our parents joked that that's probably what caused his autism. And so that was difficult. And I just said, if you have a question about anything, phrase it as a question. You're never going to offend me with a question, but you trying to make comments about something that you know nothing about is going to be really offensive, not just to me and not just to autistic people, but the people that love autistic people.